Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say, Kal Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GreatMillStone that rule well. Blessings to the hopeful elect, teaching this word no sincerity and the truth. And I just wanted to go into this video here. Going into Isaiah the 32nd chapter. And break this verse down here called that speaks about the the vile person, right? Who, if you haven't opened your eyes, or if you haven't been listening to what we have been saying, what the apostles have been teaching for years, and the elders, then you should know that there's no viler person on the face of the earth than Esau, Edom, alright, which is a so-called white man, according to the Bible, man. He's a vile person. There's not a bone in him that is basically created to be righteous. Okay? The Lord created him to be the wicked, man. This is Proverbs 16:4. The Lord Yahweh have made all things for himself. Ye even the wicked for the day of evil. Alright, when you go into the book of Romans, the 9th chapter, okay, Paul speaks about, the vessels of wrath that were created for destruction. Alright, the Lord had, as the master potter, having power over the clay, creating a vessel unto honor and a vessel unto dishonor. And Esau is that vessel that's unto dishonor, man. He cannot, be a vessel unto honor. Okay, let me just go and bring this out real quick. This is Job 14:4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. Alright, so no one, you can't bring a clean thing out of an unclean thing, and Esau was created to be the wicked, man. He's unclean. He's defiled. He's just, everything that he touches, alright, turns to smoke, man, turns to death, darkness, and he sucks the fun out of everything, man. Alright, and that's basically the MO of Esau, man, Alright. You go into the book of Job 9:24, it says what? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay? And we know when you go into the book of Malachi, the 1st chapter, and the 4th verse, scriptures speak about Esau, Edom, being the borders of wickedness. Okay? And he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Now, if it ain't Esau, that's the vilest man on the face of the earth, polluting the air with chemtrails and messing up the earth's food supply, stuffing us with GMOs and, constantly injecting babies with vaccinations and, increasing the rates of cancer, alright, taking peace from the earth, through the blessing of the sword. If it ain't Esau, then who else is it, man? Because I don't see, who's the head of these corporations? It's only Esau, the so-called white man. It ain't really, it ain't Jake. That's the head of these organizations, man. It ain't Jake that's the vilest person on the face of the earth. Okay? It ain't you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. In fact, we're the ones that are in slavery underneath his kingdom. And that's another thing, man. You got a lot of Israelites out there, man, cooning, joining hand in hand with this devil. You don't seem to realize he's living in his kingdom right now as we speak, man. This is his kingdom. That's why wherever you look around, all you see is concrete, it's nothing but, heaven for these devils, man. Alright, these Caucasians, these cave dwellers, man. This is how they like to live. And you want a part of this? You want to be a part of this kingdom? To hell with this, man. We want to see this place go down in order for our kingdom to be raised up next. Okay? And yes, Edom, Esau are the borders of wickedness, man. And yes, they are going to go down. Okay? 2 Ezra 6:9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, so what you got to understand is that we're living in the end or the latter days of Esau's kingdom, and that's why he's going to come down onto us having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. That's why he's trying to frame us by, setting up lewd fellas of the baser sort to print out t-shirts saying, Yahweh Shai was a black identity extremist and shit like that, man. All right, which I don't know. I've never come across black identity extremist in the scriptures. Okay. In fact, the Lord said, "Wait ye upon me until later I rise up to the prey." Okay, we ain't supposed to be taking it upon ourselves. But anyway, that's another lesson, for another day. Let me just go into this now. Okay, because I said I wanted to go into Isaiah 32. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. It says, "The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful." Now, first of all, I wanted to go into this word vile. Okay? When you go into this word vile, the Hebrew word is nabal. Okay? And it says foolish, senseless, or a fool. Okay? When you go down furthermore, it says from H5034, stupid, wicked, right? It says wicked. Okay? Now, we already, read in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who is the wicked? Esau. Who are the borders of wickedness? Esau. Edom. Alright? It says a fool. Alright? A foolish man. Alright? A vile person. Okay? So now let's read it again in context. It says, the vile person, the foolish, wicked person, the foolish, senseless person shall no more be called liberal. And when you go into that word liberal, it means free. Right? That's where you get the word liberty from. That's why Esau erects the Statue of Liberty. Right? Because they're literally at liberty to do as thou wilt in their kingdom. Okay? This is their kingdom, and they're doing as thou wilt. Right? Putting the words of the Most High behind them and literally being free to be the wicked. Okay, and run this world how they see fit, even though it's being run in a foolish, senseless manner, in a wicked manner. Okay, now, the Hebrew word for vile was nabal. Okay, and it says foolish or senseless. So what I want to do, and it says wicked. So what I want to do is, now we already know that Job said the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. But I also wanted to go into Job 30, right? And I wanted to go into Job 30, and I can start from verse 3. It says, "For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness. In former time, desolate and waste." Okay? And that's talking about Esau, man. Job is basically talking about Esau. Okay? When they were in their cave-like state. Okay? When they were like in their basest form. Right? Because basically Esau ain't nothing but a caveman in a suit and a tie, man. Alright? He might look on the outside like he's cleaned himself up, but don't get it twisted. He's very much still a base man. Okay? Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. Alright, and the scriptures speak about the thief cometh not but for to kill and to steal and to destroy. Alright, and you can't tell me that Esau doesn't kill, steal, and destroy everywhere he goes, man. Constantly making excuses to go into someone else's land, raping their natural resources, slapping tariffs on everybody, man. Alright, basically extorting all these countries, slapping an IMF bank in these countries, charging everyone, putting usury on everyone, with some crazy ass interest rates. He's a thief, man. Alright, and he hasn't stopped doing it, and he will never stop doing it, because he's created to be the wicked. It says to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. And this is another thing, man. Alright, ancient habitation of Edom or Esau was over there in Mount Seir. Alright, you had a place in Mount Seir called Petra. And when you look at the architecture of Petra, it looks exactly like the architecture today. Okay? This is Genesis 36:8. It says, thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. Okay? Esau is Edom. Okay, so what you're going to do now, you got to go to type in Mount Seir. We're going to read a little bit about Mount Seir on Wikipedia here. Right. It says Mount Seir, today known in Arabic as, Jabal al-Shara, is an ancient as well as biblical name for the mountainous region stretching between the Dead Sea and the Gulf of Aqaba, demarcating the southeastern border of Edom with Judah. It may also have marked the historical limit of Egypt and Canaan, a place called Seir in the land of Shasu. Okay, thought to be near Petra. Oh, there goes Petra. We just spoke about Petra, right? Now what you're going to do is that you got to go and just read a little bit about Petra here. And look what you see, Petra. This is exactly where Esau comes from, man. This is exactly where he dwelt, in Mount Seir. We just read in Genesis 36, I believe. Esau is Mount, let me get it one more again. Genesis 36:8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. Okay? These are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. Okay? And here we go, man. And Petra was located in that region in Mount Seir, south of the River Jordan, I believe. Okay? Okay, and look at the architecture of Petra, man. Look at how Petra was built. And even today, people are still going down there and taking pictures of it. Basically, it was, carved out of a red rock. Okay, and Edom comes from the Hebrew word Adawam, which means red. And you can't tell me that that's not a coincidence. Okay, so this is all the way back then. Esau was dwelling in Mount Seir. And if you look at the architecture, it looks like Roman architecture or Greek architecture. And we know that the Greeks are the Edomites. And according to the Apocrypha, the scriptures speak about when Alexander reigned upon the earth, who was an Edomite, evils were multiplied in the earth. Okay, why were evils multiplied in the earth? Because the vile person was exalted in that time. The vile person was in a position of rulership. Okay, so now we're going to go back into Job 30 and finish it off. Okay, and it says, they were driven forth from among men, verse 5. They cried after them as after a thief. And that's all the dark nations didn't want you around. Okay, because you do nothing but spread disease. You were thieves, you were murderers. Nobody wanted you around, man. Okay? It says, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Okay? And that's why even to this day, you call yourselves Caucasians, which basically means a cave dweller, man. Okay? And I'm not lying. Okay? Because when you go into the word Caucasian, well, let's get it. Caucasian. Let's see if it goes into it here. Caucasian from 1807 from Caucasus Mountains. There you go, from Caucasus Mountains. Between the Black and Caspian Seas applied to the white race, which you ain't white. Okay, you put that title upon yourselves because white represents purity. When ain't nothing pure about you devils. There ain't nothing pure about the wicked, which is the so-called white man, which is basically who the earth is given into the hands of today. That's why you're seeing uproars of the people in the world. That's why I think nothing's running smooth under your rulership, because you are the wicked. The scripture says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Because you're a vile person. You are Nabal. You are senseless. You are foolish. And you are the wicked, man. Okay? And the truth is coming out in you devils. The truth has been revealed, man. You are these Caucasus mountain dwellers, man. You are Esau, Edom. You did dwell in Mount Seir. You did carve out the red rocks of Mount Petra. Okay, and that was your ancient homeland. Okay. Okay. So let's go back into Job 30. All right, and you know the scripture says that the things that are written before time, the book of Job was written before time, man, and it was written for our learning. Okay, we use the Bible as reference points as to filter everything that we see in this planet today through the scriptures, man, and it's all prophecy. Okay, and all the identities of all the nations are written down in the Bible, man. And Esau, Edom, that is the identity of the so-called white race known as, you know, the so-called white man, which is basically Edomites. Okay, which is the wicked. Okay, and they're going to get to the point now, and it says, among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. Okay, yeah, they were grunting and, you know, hoo, hoo. That's what they could do. They could just grunt, man. All right, that's their cave-like state that they were living in back in the day. They were driven forth from among men, and they were dwelling in the cliffs of the valleys, man. And they like to say that we all came from that state. No, that wasn't all of our state. That was where you came from, man. Okay? This is, they were children of fools, ye children of base men. They were viler than the earth. Remember, when you go into the Hebrew word for vile, okay, it was Nabal, which means foolish or senseless. Job said they were children of fools. So that proves that it's talking about Esau the wicked. They were children of base men. They were viler than the earth. They were Nabal. Okay, and it's just true, man. This is the truth. Okay, so now let's go back into Isaiah 32 and we can finish this off, man. Okay, Isaiah 32:5. The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. Okay, now let's go into this word churl real quick. Okay, kayalaya. Okay, it says a churl is a scoundrel or a knave. Okay, now what I had done was I wanted to go into that word knave, the etymology of the word knave. And when you go into the etymology of knave, it says what? It says a boy, a male child, a male servant. Okay, which Apostle Gabar did a beautiful video on, you know, Isaiah the 32nd chapter, going into how the Rothschilds, they before they changed the name to Rothschilds, their name really was Bauer. Okay, which Bauer means a peasant. Okay, so that's basically fitting for a knave. Okay, a boy, a male child, a male servant. Okay, and remember what it says, what the Bible said in Genesis, the 25th chapter. Let's just get Genesis 25. I believe it's 25. Here we go. Let me just highlight this right here. Genesis 25:23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. All right, this is a story of Jacob and Esau. You can read it for yourself in your own time. But I'm going to just go straight to the point. All right, just to emphasize, you know, that Esau basically is created to be a servant, man. Okay? And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Now, who came out first? Okay, when you go down, it says, and the first came out red in the verse 25. The first came out red, right, all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Okay, because when he was born, you know, Isaac was like, whoa, you know, Ishashwa. Basically, Esau means in the Hebrew is Ishashwa, which means wasted away is he. Okay, because he lacked melanin, he lacked that pigmentation. Therefore, the blood was showing forth through his skin, and that's why Isaac was shocked, and he said, Ishashwa, when he came out. That's why he looked red all over like a hairy garment. It didn't mean that he came out red and hairy. I ain't never seen a baby come out of the womb red and hairy, man. Okay, it meant that it was like a hairy garment, because back then they used to dye garments red. Okay, so it was like a hairy garment. Okay, all over, because his blood was showing forth through his skin, and that's why he's known as Edom. Okay, out of the one, which means red. Okay, and that's why they put that title upon themselves as white, when really they're not white. Okay, they're really red. You're really so-called red man. Okay. Let's go back into Isaiah 32:5. The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. Okay. So now we've broke down the word vile, nabal. We broke down the word churl, kayalaya. Okay, a scoundrel or a knave. Now we're gonna Satan's messing around now. Don't want to bring the words out coincidentally. Nor the churl said to be bountiful. Okay, and you can't tell me that Esau is not free or rich. Okay, independent, free, noble, free, rich. Now remember that word noble. Okay, because that's important, because now here we go. Now what's the precept say about what's going to happen to Esau? Psalms 149. In fact, let me start from 6. Let the praises of the Most High Yahweh be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains, and their nobles. Okay, nobles. Remember, we just went into the word bountiful, which meant noble, free, or rich. And you can't tell me that Esau ain't rich. You can't tell me that he's not the bountiful one. He's not the vile man. He's not a senseless fool. He's not the wicked. Right? He's not a knave, a scoundrel that the Bible speaks of. Okay? You can't tell me that this churl, right, that this rich one is not who the Bible is speaking about. Yes, it is. It says to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints, praise ye the Lord, and the saints of the Israelites. Okay, so you going to try and tell me now that we going to bind their nobles and their kings, the elites of the Edomites, right, with fetters of iron, because the scripture says in Revelation 13:10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. But then at the same time, Edomites are going to be saved? That doesn't make any sense, man. Why would the one that was created to be the wicked need saving? He's already in his kingdom. Why would someone need to be saved from his enemies who's already in his kingdom? Okay, the Lord said that, what? In Luke, the 1st chapter. Salaki, I know I'm jumping around a lot. And the 68th verse, it says, blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people. And when you go to verse 71, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of them that hate us. And you can't tell me that Esau don't hate us, man. Okay? He ain't the one that needs saving. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the ones that need saving, because we're yet to stay in our captivity, man. Okay? Now, let's just finish up in Isaiah 32. Okay? So let's read it again. Right, that the vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. Okay, and Esau is that bountiful one. The earth was given into his hand. Okay, the scriptures speak about Micah 2:1. In fact, let's get that real quick. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. Okay, the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. It's in the power of their hands, brothers. This is talking about Esau, Edom. This is talking about the wicked. This is talking about the vile, the churl. Okay, the bountiful one. Okay, they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man, even his house, even a man in his heritage. And you can't tell me that they ain't guilty of divide and conquer, splitting up the average so-called Jake household. You know, sorry, not so-called Jake, the average Jake household, splitting up the man from the woman. That's why the children are being raised by their mothers, and they're being raised to hate their fathers, man. Okay, they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage, man. And then they give the mum the universal credit or welfare. You know, so much, just enough money so that they can put their middle finger up at the father, man. so that they don't need him in the picture anymore. Broken homes, man. That's what you call divide and conquer. Okay? They covered fields. They took them by violence when they came over to the Americas. What did they do to the Native American Indians? They took their homes by violence. Then they like to say they discovered the new world, man. How can you discover something that was already there? That's why the scriptures say the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. Okay? They built a city. They established a city by iniquity. They built it for town with blood. That's Esau's doing, man. And then they want to talk about the Holocaust deniers. They want to put people in jail for the Holocaust deniers. But when it comes to slavery, they want to remove that out of the textbooks, man. That is a hypocrite, brothers. Okay? And the scriptures speak about the hypocrite. Okay? It says, verse 6 in Isaiah 32, for the vile person will speak valiantly. His heart will work iniquity. And when you go into that word heart, the Hebrew word is la'ab, which is your mind. Okay? And his mind works iniquity. Okay? That's why we just read that in Micah 2:1. Okay? They practice iniquity in upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, loosely paraphrasing. Okay? To practice hypocrisy. Oh, here we go. And to utter error against the Lord. All right? You had that twisted up Edomite, Stephen Hawking, talking about there is no God. The scripture says the fool have said in his heart there is no God. Okay? You're in direct violation against the Lord, man. Okay? It says to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. And it says what? I want to harp on this point about to practice hypocrisy. Let's go back to Job again. There's a lot of scriptures that Job brought out through the Spirit condemning you Edomites, man. Okay? This is Job chapter 20. Verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short? Right? The triumphing of the vile, the Nabal. Remember Isaiah 32, the Nabal. Okay? The wicked, the foolish, the senseless one. The triumphing of the wicked is short, the joy for the hypocrite, but for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reacheth unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, he shall not be found. He shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place be any more behold him. Okay? So Esau, you're going to be destroyed, man. After you go into slavery for 1,000 years, you're going to be gathered in the pit. And it tells you that in Isaiah the 24th chapter. Okay? Isaiah 24 and 21. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahweh shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and they shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days they shall be visited, man. And that's when we're going to burn you up, man, in the kingdom, man. And when you go to Obadiah 1:18, I mean, you can read it for yourself, man. And that's your latter fate, all right? You Edomites, man. Okay? You're going to be gathered in the pit, and you're going to be through, man. Okay? After you serve that 1,000 years of slavery. Okay? So, you know, I mean, I could go on and on and on exposing this devil, man, through the Spirit. You know, but I'm going to just leave it there. I didn't want this video to be too long, but, you know, the Spirit has you jumping from precept to precept. That's how it goes, man. All right? Lord willing, you all were edified on the vile person, on Isaiah the 32nd chapter. The vile person, you know, the senseless fool, the foolish one, the cave dweller, the Caucasian one, okay, the liberal, all right, or the Churl, the bountiful one that the earth was given into the hand of, which is the wicked that the Bible speaks of, man. Lord willing, you all were edified, and you got some, you know, you got some edification out of this video, man. All right, so with that, man, I'm going to say shalom.